We just got an update on Bambi the Reckoning, a horror film based on the original Bambi novel from 1923. Let's talk a little bit about it. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second page. We have some hilarious stuff to talk about today. That is Bambi the Reckoning, an exclusive update coming from Bloody Disgusting, our friends over there. Cast and director announced for the Bambi horror movie. Clearly, the most anticipated film of 2024. Am I excited for this? In a word, that's a hard thing to really say. It is a movie that is turning the original Bambi novel into a horror film. It is coming from a similar team that brought us Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey earlier this year. And I don't know, this is a weird trend in horror. Definitely one of the most obscure and bizarre, obtuse, I would even say, trends in horror right now, where we're turning things that are falling into public domain that anyone can utilize. Basically, anyone can get their dirty little hands on and spin it which way they want. Now, here's the thing about this. What's brilliant about this is they're using IPs that are already familiar to the public and saying, hey, let's turn these into horror movies. That's crazy. I gotta see how this plays out. How can you turn Bambi into a horror movie? Now, our first taste of this came from Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which made way too much money at the box office based on concept alone. It was not of quality. I'm going to be honest. I found a lot of it to be very amusing and very funny. Some people hated it with a strong passion and said it was, oh my God, the worst thing they've ever seen. I had a fun time with it. For a movie that is admittedly so bad it's good, no one's coming out of that movie saying this is the best horror movie of 2023. Not trying to say that. But Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, I had a very fun time with. It was a very silly, over-the-top movie. It's bad, but what the fuck did you expect? I don't know. I feel like some people went into Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey expecting this to actually be a good movie, and then that's why we got so many bad reviews. I don't really know. I don't think that was the worst movie I've ever seen. I have seen way worse movies than that personally. It made me laugh multiple times. Will I ever watch it again? Maybe with some buddies. I won't be seeking this out by myself. I feel like I'm going to feel the same way about Bambi the Reckoning, a movie that I will absolutely watch once in theaters for a review and probably never again. So let's talk a little more about the details. From the same team from Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which is also getting a sequel that hilariously is in the can, by the way, comes Bambi the Reckoning, another upcoming movie that will put a horror twist on a classic children's property. Bloody Disgusting has exclusively learned this week. They found out that Roxanne McKee from Wrong Turn 5 will be starring in the film. What's interesting about Wrong Turn 5 to me is it's actually a very notable film in the Wrong Turn franchise. You might disagree. I never said it was a good film. I just said it's notable. It introduces Doug Bradley into the fold. He's like one of the bad guys in that film, which is pretty cool. He is, of course, the Hell Priest, Pinhead, the Hellraiser himself. Does anyone just call it Hellraiser? Like, you know how some people call Ghostface Scream? Like, oh my God, look, it's Scream. That's not right. Like, no one should call Ghostface Scream. I'm kidding. That makes me sound so pretentious. Roxanne McKee, though, would I say her performance is great? I don't know, but it's pretty cool that she's in this movie. She's also starring alongside Nicola Wright and Tom Mulheron. I don't know who these people are, but they're also in the film. Cool. Samira Mighty from Beauty and the Beast will also appear in the upcoming horror movie. What a catalog Samira Mighty must have. Beauty and the Beast from 2017 and now Bambi the Reckoning. She really wants to stick it to Disney, is what I'm hearing here. I'm so kidding. I'm not trying to put words in this person's mouth, but that's really funny that you were in Beauty and the Beast, you took that Disney money and you ran. Filming begins on January 6th of 2024, basically just a couple weeks here in England, with a planned fall of 2024 release date. You're gonna see a lot of these movies coming, because this is not the only one that's been that has been announced. Like I said, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 is coming out most likely next year. We'll probably get that one, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, most likely at the top of next year. These have a pretty quick turnaround. It's not like a lot of thought goes into them. Once again, am I excited for it? I don't know. I'll see it. I'll definitely see it. But the film follows Zana, Roxanne McKee, and her son Benji, played by Tom something, who find themselves in a car wreck and soon hunted down by the vicious killing machine, Bambi. Bambi will destroy anyone in its path, as most people would describe Bambi. I mean, you watch that movie once and you're like, Jesus Christ, Bambi, stop eating children. You gotta stop doing it, man. It's starting to get annoying. Director Dan Allen previews it's gonna be terrifying when people see a deer in the wild after this film. They're gonna run for the hills. This film is about the death of childhoods as much as it's gonna ruin childhoods. Expect bloodshed, tears, and rabbits, and one mean killer deer. At last, the British countryside will finally get its Godzilla. After that description of this film, I really don't know what to expect from this movie. I'm terrified, Dan Allen. Is all I have to say about this. I'm horrified by this description of your film. I think this is going to be the scariest movie of 2024. In my very meager opinion, I think this is going to be the most horrifying film of next year. I don't think I'll be able to sleep after this. Bambi the Reckoning is part of a fairy tale universe from the team... I can't even get through this without laughing. Bambi the Reckoning is part of a fairy tale universe from the team. Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, which will find Tinkerbell injecting pixie dust like it's heroin, will be shooting this summer. Of course, because, you know, of course, we need that movie. There's so many people asking for a film where that happens to Tinkerbell. Directed by Scott Jeffrey, more projects within the universe are soon to be announced because more things are falling into the public domain, as most people may or may not know. So that's why we're getting a bunch of these movies. Don't expect it to stop, because I'm sure, at least, here's the thing. Here's what, pause. Can we take a quick pause real quick? Here's the thing I'm 100% sure about with these movies. One of them is going to be decent. Well, one of the, listen, there are going to be some that are better than others. There's going to be like a really bad one, of course, but you're going to get that demonic toys, right? Like if we're examining something like Full Moon Features, their entire catalog, there's really only a few movies that stick out. The rest of them are so bad, but there's a few movies in that shit pile that you got to like sort through to get to that one hidden gem. There's going to be one of these movies that's going to be really good. And you know what? I'm willing to wade through that pool of shit for all of you in order to find these hidden gems. Could it be Bambi the Reckoning? I think maybe. I mean, listen, with that description, this is going to be the Godzilla for the British countryside. Jesus Christ, Dan Allen. You're talking this movie up maybe a little too much. I'm going into this with some high expectations, Dan. That's what I'm saying right now. I'm telling you that right now. Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, I don't know about that one. That just seems like juvenile insanity. But I don't know, man. Does Bambi the Reckoning not sound like juvenile insanity? No, it absolutely does, but maybe in the best way possible. This is coming from ITN Studios and Jagged Edge Productions. Once again, same people behind Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and even some of the same people, like Reese Frake Waterfield and Scott Jeffrey. Reese Warrington wrote this soon-to-be masterpiece, and it's coming out in fall of 2024. It's Felix Salten's original novel Bambi, A Life in the Woods, from 1923. That's in the public domain here in 2023, which explains how the team is able to turn it into a horror movie. Stay tuned for more on all this madness as we learn it. Yeah, I really don't know what to say. Bambi the horror movie. Run it. This is going to be the greatest movie of all time. I think that this is going to really just knock down the creative door. Jordan Peele, who? Am I right? Who even knows who that guy is? I need to know more about Dan Allen's Bambi the Reckoning. Is that his name? Dan Allen? Yeah, Dan Allen. Dan Allen's masterpiece comes out in fall of 2024. But what do you guys think about this? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Are you excited for Bambi the Reckoning? Tell me a yes or most likely a no. Thanks for watching this little update video, everybody. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.